Hey, crypto media friends, welcome to an early show today. Just wanted to jump on quickly here in Los Angeles, near the studio lot here in Hollywood, California. Talking about art today because obviously the biggest NFT drop, I didn't realize it's the biggest NFT drop in history. It gets to claim this moniker, is indeed Merge. And there's a lot of massive hype around Pac and sort of a lore around Pac sort of an allure of mysteriousness and having that. I think for me Merge was an interesting project that obviously if you're not on the Nifty Gateway Merge, it's just a very nice email list to have. So get on Nifty Gateway, go to niftygateway.com. And just sign up for their emails because you'll get dropped every day what they're dropping, and you'll get to see sort of I think great artists at work. Nifty Gateway does a fantastic job of bringing together collabs from musical artists like Aoki, and they did an Eminem, so they definitely do interesting work, and as well as combining them with artists to express something about their vibe, and so when Pac did Merge, like it just sort of hit the inbox. I'm just like, oh, it was like early access, but I was like, oh, it's interesting. It was affordable in a sense, and I thought that was interesting. And so, but given it is Pac, it was just like you're buying just this circle, and so I was like, okay, well, we're talking about a game here, and I think that's interesting. And so given the tokenomics of it, the token mechanism. It's built in to have scarcity over time, and so you can buy. That was the crazy part. You could buy as many as you wanted, and I think they were roughly about 500, upwards of $500, 500 something, I believe per mass. I don't think they list the price here anymore because collectors. Yeah, so there's a collectors only at $299. Open sale ended up being $575, and so 266,000. were purchased at that, and so they sold out of the 299, doing 28,000 editions, and then adding another 266,000, so nearly 300,000 mass were sold, flooding OpenSeas, and the OpenSeas market was kind of hot and moving. And I do this live. Please subscribe to the bell notification. Do this live because this information is in the moment. And so in the moment right now, there is indeed a verified bug within Merge, and Nifty Gateway and Pac, and everyone has acknowledged it, and they're looking to move forward Pac in a very interesting way, a very Banksy way, saying like, well, oh, you have a bug in your NFT, that's going to be really effing valuable. Just so they're going to drop another set of the collection, which the initial set, this generated approximately 92 million. This is unverified. This is just sort of like, sort of on the alpha chats and sort of, how it's been explained to me. 92 million in gas fees has been associated with the minting of this. They're going to do that again at their cost. That's the thing. That's going to be the tough thing about for Nifty. They have to do it at their cost to airdrop to everyone another set of mass. And so, and again, I didn't cover this. I thought, again, for me, initially, I didn't think it was. This seems like a whale game, and anytime you kind of work into the Nifty Gateway area of things, it's usually sort of a higher end clientele that likes to risk a bit more in terms of their purchases, and I don't see too much gain. There's some really great quality pieces, but in terms of the value of those, I don't know. It seems more like a factory, and there's a little less community involved, unless you're part of the Nifty Gateway community, because that in fact is a huge thing, and they're very welcoming if you buy a lot at Nifty Gateway. But it just seems like to be at another whale level, and this kind of seemed the same way because we've covered games like this in the past, and certainly, I think that, as I've explained before, that teams tend to do better in this, where a bunch of people get together and they buy things, and then they create more of the generative art together, and then sell, and then try and kind of work as a team to keep redoing and reselling to each other to create value. Because then, if you have the most massive thing, ostensibly, an even bigger whale is going to come by and want to obtain the largest merge possible. And so, to me, that's what it seemed like. So, it seemed like there's a lot of groups in this space now that are coming together to manipulate, and this felt just like an experimentation. Maybe it's part of the expression of POC, the artistic expression, but it is a great example of how groups and can come to undermine and create value, perceived value in something that might not be there. And so I think that's it's almost a sad fact of sort of the current marketplace, and very expressive of that, because in a sense it's even in the discords, even in the projects that you love, there's a lot of manipulation. You can see them in the discords. Everyone's like, oh, delist here, do this now, and so that you sweep the floor here, and then this will push us up over 2 ETH, and then we can really start pumping. And so there's a lot of collaboration in the space, and I think that this was kind of a nice expression of that. But it was at another level that I was like, it's nice. Maybe I could get 1 mass. Maybe I'm getting 2 mass. But then when I put them together, then eventually you have to join forces in a sense, or you're just kind of selling out, and it's almost like a weird flip. And so I felt like I was going to be probably at the bottom tier of that small flip, if at best, and then and then eventually the payoff is going to be for somebody who's worked together, or either just a whale, to take all the mass together and create a sort of a mega mass, if you will, and to create again value, perceived value within the project. So it's great, and if you've got one, don't worry, don't fret too much. I'm sure and Nifty's solid. They're gonna back up sort of what they put out. But again, I thought it was quite astonishing. I didn't realize the biggest drop, about to be the biggest airdrop in NFT history, coming your way. Also minting today. Art Blocks is starting to gain some steam. We're starting to see some sellouts in Art Blocks again. It's getting hot. Today at noon, my time, LA time, in about 3 hours, we got a nice mint coming. And let's go to all projects, because there's something minting currently. Pieces of Me, I thought was interesting. It just minted right out. Sorry guys, it just started. It sold out in 18 minutes. I'm like, oh, it's nice. It's, I think I really like the brush strokes. I think the coloration was nice. I think the idea is nice. But I thought that the minting was also of the moment. Only 222 editions. I think that was super smart, because you're looking at, a Dutch auction at a limited minting that just has a value, in its sense, on this platform. And so by giving it scarcity, and especially given how many buyers seem to be in the market. This is the thing about Art Blocks is they have a level of curation, so they're approving these things weeks before, maybe even months before. And so they were probably, okay, we're only gonna do 222 of these, and we think the audience for this at this price. That was 2 weeks ago thinking, and that was in the doldrums of sort of everything on Art Blocks. And there's still quite a bit still there, and I think it's worth giving a quick gander, because there's a lot of open editions right now. You can see just all the blue open editions still available, and worth a look, because I think they're great projects. They just happen to hit the marketplace at a tough time, and so I've been slowly scooping up what I can. Because at the end of the day, they're still Art Blocks, and they have considerable appeal as artistic projects, and as especially ones that have thoughts within the coding that are expressive of where we're at with NFTs. And again, these are, to me, sort of the first smart NFTs, and I think that these are the projects that are going to really lend into they sort of blend well into like Remark as a project that I've mentioned on the show before. And if you got in, you were doing no financial advice, but you have been doing quite well. And so because they're looking for these projects to then incorporate into mass PFPs, mass NFT propagation beyond just the PFP, honestly, beyond just the artistic caliber and quality, because it gives so much great utility. And if you can find the ones that have those elements to them, that have a unique way of interpreting data, of interpreting their hash. That was the early sort of hotness, was interpreting the hash in terms of delivering randomness to colorization and placement, etc. But now you're looking into ones that are auto formatting within wherever you're seeing them. You can look at a phone, it's different than the one you're looking at on an HD screen. And so there's a lot of interesting stuff, but I'll leave it up to you to decide and find. Drop in the comments section what you're collecting on Art Blocks, and we'll see you on the next one.